Hey, there you are. Scott with the man's mental load. There's Dan right there. Dan of Men Need to Be Heard. Google that. Men Need to Be Heard. He's a great content creator, just like I am, talking about the male side of this whole thing, the mental load and the pressure men are under. Because the fact of the matter is, it's the women that are out there. This lady Paige just totally owns the space, talking about the mental load. But what Dan talked about today, which I agree with 100%, is that it's the women who nag their husbands to go to the doctor. Now, the truth is, older men, like 60 plus, 70 plus, that demographic has, out there working, they see it as a sign of weakness. And the fact of the matter is also that men don't want to go to the doctor in some cases because they don't want to hear the results, right? They're concerned it could be cancer or something bad. I have two friends that kind of waited too late, and they did go in and they did have prostate cancer. They had to get radiation, and they are still living a good life. But chances are, if they would have caught it earlier, it could have been a better outcome. My dad, he passed away at 66 of prostate cancer. And I turned 65 this year. So when he passed away, I don't know, 30 years ago or so, I really took it seriously about going to the doctor. My wife did not have to nag me to go get my colonoscopy, for my prostate exam, for my tests. And because I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, I get to go to the VA for free and get all that stuff. So what Dan was talking about, and I'm just kind of jumping on that as well, is that men need to go to the doctor. They need to get all their tests done, prostate, colonoscopy. And colonoscopy, the problem with that is the prep. Drinking that stuff, and that comedian Jeff Foxworthy talks about it, chugging the prep, and then your guts are just, man, you're going, oh. So the prep is worse than anything. But I will tell you, that colonoscopy, man, now I understand why Michael Jackson liked that anesthesia, because, man, count to 3, 1, boom, you're out. And next thing you know, you wake up and you feel refreshed. You feel like you had a good night's sleep. You had no dreams. It is the best sleep you've ever had. Get a colonoscopy just for that. But the thing is, it's kind of like your car, right? You have all these indicators on your dashboard. Low air pressure in your tire. Check oil light. Maintenance light. High temperature in your radiator light. So you have the lights on your dashboard that's going to tell you, hey man, there's something going on, you need to address it. It's kind of the same way with men and our health. There are lights out there, right? I mean, if you're getting up at 2 in.the.morning and going to the bathroom, I mean, that's a red light. That's a flashing light that you need to get something checked. And I understand if you're on Obamacare and your insurance quadrupled, I get that. But for the veterans that I talk to, because I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, the care is free, or at least there's a small copay. Go out there and, don't do it for your wife. Don't do it, for your grandkids or your kids. Do it for you, man. You want a healthy, productive life. You want to be able to be out there. And I just said don't do it for your grandkids. Maybe you should. I've got an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a little 2-year-old. Grandkids, 3 grandkids. Do it for them then if you don't want to do it for you. You may not want to do it for your wife, but do it for your grandkids, right? So anyway, I appreciate you watching the channel. If you haven't, check out the Men Need to Be Heard podcast, YouTube channel, Facebook. Dan just went over 100,000 subscribers, so good for him. I'm working on catching up. But the point I'm trying to say is, go out there, get tested for your prostate, your colonoscopy, all that stuff, kidneys, liver, your cholesterol, because if you know your numbers, then you can do something about it, right? Scott with the man's mental load. Have a great week. I'll be talking to you again soon. Thanks.